as people, citizens, supporting others, and the party forces across the republic. Put them together as one
Thank you very much. Our esteemed partisans and members of the National Executive Committee of the mighty Coalition for Democratic Change, our collaborating partners in the Coalition for Democratic Change, distinguished citizens, farmers, market women, younger boys, pavement riders, keke riders, ladies and gentlemen. We are assembled here today in historic times on the occasion of the second time in nearly 80 years of Liberian history when one government will be peacefully and democratically ceding power to another. It has been a long, checkered, and difficult journey. A journey of 18 years that began with the formation of the Congo for Democratic Change in 2005. This remarkable political sojourn, which incorporates 12 years in opposition, endeared the CDC to men as stalwart and guardian of Liberian democracy, while the party sought to peacefully coexist with a government administration under the Unity Party-led government of Madam Angel Salif and Joseph Walker. Within the course of this progressive ascendancy to power, we governed responsibly, protected the human rights of Liberians, and stabilized the social economic system of our beloved republic. We are not perfect, as we are humans, but throughout 6 years of political governance, we ensured there were no political prisoners, and all Liberians were free to go about their normal course of business. Not only did the CDC protect fundamental rights, we also ensured freedom of the press, association, assembly, and in fact, protected all demonstrators doing opposition gatherings, including the opposition-led event of June 7, 2019. Proudly, we were and continue to be the most ardent custodians of Liberia's fledgling democracy. It is within the broad parameters of our democratic credentials that we are assembled here today, even after accepting a tiny result coming at the end of an election which outcome remains utterly confusing and unrealistic. Nevertheless, in fulfilling our dutiful commitment to Liberia's peace and democracy, we take upon ourselves the moral high ground to move forward as part of the sacrifices patriots and nationalists must endure to keep our country safe, secure, and democratically sustainable. After 18 years of impressive custody of national stability, citizens are quite aware of the duty to sustaining peace, democratic governance, and security. This obligation may not come easily, since we have just unfairly lost an election under controversial circumstances detrimental to national reconciliation and healing. Yet, as conscientious patriots of peace, our individual and collective anger must now be harnessed and redirected towards the future democratic redemption of our beloved republic from the bitter grips of the same evil that pillaged and plundered for 12 years before the ascendancy of the CDC-led government. Fellow partisans, our opponent's unexampled resulting victory does not mean that we have lost the right to govern Liberia forever. Even before their inauguration, it is becoming increasingly clear that the Liberian people have just been duped, deceived, and misled into electing the most incapable elder, surrounded by the most corrupt group of people in our country. This historic travesty of democracy can be corrected when all of us rise above the fruitless distraction of blaming others for the loss. Instead, introspecting what is at stake and quickly coming back together as one party, one family, and one gigantic political fortress of redemption, the mighty coalition for democratic change.
Sound!
Brothers, sisters, comrades in arms, the need to regroup cannot be overemphasized as we prepare to battle and defeat deep state conspirator administrators who took advantage of our reposed confidence as strategic state institutions to destroy our government from within. These anti-CDC disruptors are a den of thieves craving for more opportunities to hustle. To stop them, we must rise above trivial differences and subordinate personal concerns to the superior interests of the common good. My fellow citizens, again I say, let's come together quickly to confront the threats unfolding against us all, which is no longer implicit and hypothetical. This threat against us is very explicit, clear, and present. You have heard how even state security institutions, example the Liberian National Police, are now being exploited, politicized, and weaponized by some notorious supporters of Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai to malign and falsely indict the CDC in the crash incidents that occurred at the United Party headquarters at the hands of their own partisans. This is an example of the visible threat we must confront and defeat to save our democracy in the coming years. As we reassemble to protect democratic governance, we cannot forget the support and sacrifices of our good friends, collaborating political institutions and individuals that stood with the CDC shoulder to shoulder. We may have been denied the privilege to a second term, but we remain committed to upholding our shared values and principles that attracted your support. We say to our collaborating partners, thank you, as we seek your continued support and commitment to advance our collective endeavor. The CDC remains grateful to its partisans and supporters for the hard work, the discipline, commitment, and peacefulness throughout the campaign. We give thanks and applaud the hard work of the campaign committee, our loyal and dedicated militants, the Party's Revolutionary National Youth League, the Esteemed Women League, robust county, district, zonal, and auxiliary groupings, diaspora chapters, musicians, Western voters, petty traders, traditional leaders, market women, civil servants, students, religious groupings, farmers, pepper riders, and younger boys. We say thank you plenty. Without you, we would not come this far. And with your continued support, we are certain CDC will rise again stronger than ever before.
Yes.
While we remain mobilized, let's continue to draw strength from the fact that the mighty coalition for democratic change is alive, robust, and resilient. To those who take pride in our challenges, we are not a group to be pitied, but a fortress of fearless revolutionaries committed to the unstoppable rise of the People's Party a cause we are prepared to protect with our life, our sweat, and our blood. As we learn vital lessons of the past, the CDC will keep standing up for what is just and right in defense of the cause of the people, which does not end with one turn, but continues even after we are dead and turned to dust. The concession of our leader and standing bearer, His Excellency George Minor Weah, brings this election queries to a closure. However, we wish to send an important message to our opponents of the coming government that we will not concede a micro-inch of Liberia to misrule, to witch hunt and bad governance. As chairman of the mighty Coalition for Democratic Change, which continues to be the political guardrail of Liberia's democracy, I want the citizens and Liberians at large, do not be frightened. Do not yield to a politics of intimidation and fear. I say to you in civil service, fear not. Under the leadership of this National Executive Committee of the CDC, which is led by undisputed, trustworthy, and accomplished revolutionaries, we will reassert the mighty CDC's national political dominance to protect and keep you safe from witch hunts and tyranny. In the seditions, but we are with you through to the very end, whether down a valley, or at the edge of a cliff. Remember this saying, eagles do not fear heights. But more distinguished partisans, let's garner strength from the following realities. Quote, they tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. The more their efforts to destroy the CDC, the more the mighty Coalition for Democratic Change rises in power, in dominance, and in strength. And those on the other side who fantasize the thought that we will crawl on our bellies or fall to our knees to negotiate surrender, you do not know us well. We will never bow to the golden calf of apostasy. When we choose to negotiate on any issue pertinent to the interests of our people, it will be from a position of strength. We will never stoop low to the arrogance of United Party's 20,000 half-district election mandate. Nevertheless, as pillars of Liberia's peace and democracy, we call on our people to move past this ugly democratic experience and support the peaceful transfer of power through our transition team. Even so, it will be a serious dereliction of our sacred duty of upholding the public trust if we did not make certain matters clear and unambiguous. The UP's presidential resulting victory margin of 50% plus 64 compared to ours for the non-party plus 36 vote cast in no way signals a large electoral mandate. Evidently, this election shows that the country is evenly split. Yes. Unlike 2018, when President Weah had a popular and clear mandate, the United Party simply don't have a clear governing mandate to continue its arrogance and display of power. It is glaring that nearly 50% of Liberians voted in these model elections opted to vote for our brand of politics or political and economic governance. Thus, we must emphatically caution the United Party's incoming administration to consider the wishes and desires of nearly 50% of our citizens who rejected them. As such, they should govern and be mindful that nearly half of the Liberian people resisted their so-called rescue efforts. In fact, Liberia does not need to be rescued by political buccaneers who spent 12 years in power looting the coffers of our states. Yes, we have accepted the outcome of the just ended controversial elections for peace, not because it was free and fair, but because it's the only way to keep our country peaceful and save our people from the hands of a den of violent usurpers who are so desperate for power that they didn't mind plunging Liberia into crisis or chaos to achieve it. Fellow partisans, we are not oblivious to the fight that by accepting to move past this mismanaged election result, we may be in effect throwing our institution into uncharted waters. Be that as it may, we can collectively survive. And in the not too distant future, we can ride the ties to victory as we stand together beginning today. Lest we forget, my friends, the CDC is not only a grassroots strong revolutionary party or idea, it is also an enduring concept of redemption that has successfully laid the foundation for real and lasting change. Beloved partisans, take pride in your 6 years of selfless service for our country. Work with the heads up high. Regardless of the politics, it cannot be argued or denied that the CDC-led government has set higher standards of governance and made huge development gains that cannot be discarded by hate or by lies. Since government is continuity, it now falls on the shoulders of the incoming government to maintain our high standards and continue to build on the we-led government's laudable achievements or gains. We are building roads that should be continued. We are building hospitals that should be continued. We are giving free education that can only be sustained. We have built unprecedented press freedom, freedom of assembly, and freedom of speech that cannot be derailed. As Liberia's most peaceful democratic institution, the CDC in 6 years has built a peaceful and tolerant political and social environment for all. The preservation of that peace now rests on the shoulder of the Bucket-led regime. Therefore, to consolidate the peace, we question the incoming government to reject ill-advised actions such as witch hunt, economic apartheid, police brutality, and all forms of prejudices detrimental to good governance and stability. Fellow citizens, as we begin our party's rebuilding process, we admonish our partisans to converge around the idea that brought the CDC into a mighty political fortress. Let it not be forgotten that the mighty coalition for democratic change has survived worse tragedies than what confront us now. And citizens will not be mistaken to view this challenge as a springboard upon which, with fervent determination, we can rise to new levels of institutional greatness and democratic power. Within this context, we cannot also forget our duty to the youth, students, and committed militants who have never taken a break from hard work and sacrifices in pursuit of the cause of the CDC. Pursuing a decentralized scholarship and youth empowerment plan for our people, as well as ensuring a balanced micro-business program for our hardworking women, must be given priority considerations as important components of the youth process. Distinguished partisans, brothers and sisters, comrades in arms, these are the ideas around which the party must remain focused and engaged. No doubt, there are visible errors of the past, but the challenge is not ours to learn from the past and take corrective measures designed to build and equip our people, even as a respectable opposition political party in Liberia. Wow. Here is a fair warning to our brothers and sisters in the Unity Party. The reiteration of this message over and over is vital. We may have conceded this election result, but the CDC will not concede Liberia to bad governance. The CDC will not concede Liberia to workplace prejudice, economic marginalization, and witch hunt. Do not witch hunt our people. For they too, as qualified Liberians, have the right to work and to employment opportunities in our country. Do not witch hunt our people. Do not witch hunt our people. Do not witch hunt our people. Our beloved citizens, supporters and sympathizers, the moral leadership of our country continues to be our burden to bear. Let's not be consumed by mere rage, but by a relentless determination to hold the coming government accountable for the people of Liberia, to ensure that there's sustained press freedom, to ensure that there's sustained food security for all, to ensure that no one goes to bed hungry at night, to ensure our children keep going to public schools free, to ensure government will create new jobs, to ensure we coexist as a people, as citizens in a democratic society. Lastly, for the partisans and gentlemen of the press, after extensive internal consultations between the National Executive Committee and the CDC Legislative Caucus, the party has concluded that given the team nature of the election results, a balanced government, regionally and politically, is in the best interest of the Liberian people. In this light, the party intends to support its caucus quest for the Speaker position of the legislature and have endorsed the candidacy of Councillor General Fonadikova as well-balanced, calling on all independent and like-minded members of our party to support that call. I will say that again. In this light, the party intends to support its caucus quest for the Speaker position and have endorsed the candidacy of Councillor J. Fonati Kofa, a well-balanced political and regional partisan, as its sole candidate for Speaker. Therefore, we are calling on all independents and like-minded members of the incoming legislature to support Councillor Kofa as the CDC's consensus candidate in the ensuing election for the legislature. Thank you. God bless Liberia. God bless the mighty for the leader of the democratic change.
Thank you. That was the message from the firepower chairman of the Indomitable Coalition for Democratic Change. You're very emphatic and clear. So at this time, the chairman will take questions from the media. We're asking you to state your names and the entities that you represent. And please direct your questions in the confines and bailiwick of what has been stated, read, and said by the chairman of our party. So we'll begin the recognition of individual interested. So we'll start with we'll start with you at the back there.
Thank you. My name is Lamoto Rico for Bana FM. Mr. Malua, when I listened to your speech, you sounded as though the CDC has performed well. So, considering that, there are some folks from the United Party who are calling for an audit of outgoing government officials, including disclosure from the LACC. Do you support an audit from by the incoming government? Do you support that? If you support that, how do you intend for it to start? And secondly, what do you consider as a witch hunt? Because you did not explain more on that.
Next question.
Next question.
Let's take the father and we'll respond.
Let's take Segun.
So basically, I have two concerns, Mr. Chairman. My name is Sekou Amiralapona, and I report for Strong FM, Eshkon TV, Liberia. The last time the Secretary General addressing the press made it clear that this election was stolen by the Unity Party. During your 6 years, you became victim of electoral violence, but yet still you want to forgo the election result because of the sake of the peace. Are you foregoing this election result because of the sake of peace because there is no evidence to challenge the result? Are you foregoing the election result, taking into consideration there are many citizens who are in the state of pandemonium because of this election result? Or are you foregoing the election result because there is no evidence to challenge the result? And lastly, the court has summoned the Secretary General of your party, Jamasi Tabakoji. Do you see this as a witch hunt against one of your stars of the party?
Okay, thank you. This time around, we'd like to at least ask you to ask just a question, because there are too many people concerned. So,
Yes, sir.
yes,
Thank you so much. My name is Archie Bowen, and I report for Toledo Broad Television. Mr. Chairman, you just spoke about Liberians getting job within the current, the incoming government. That's the Bouaka administration. Are you in person willing to accept a job for the Union Party?
yeah.
My name is Winston Blading. My name is Winston Blading for Banner FM. I cover the legislature, and I'm aware that two of your partisans, Councillor Kofa, has been campaigning using his lobbyistic power. On the other hand, likewise, Thomas Bala also been campaigning, building blacks as well. What got you at this movement of choosing Councillor Kofa over Tifa of Thomas Bala? Can you explain as to whether the crisis has been resolved within the CDC as it relates to that position, speakership? Thank you.
One female. So let's one female. 5 questions now. Let's now begin to address them, starting from bottom to top. Now, first of all, the assumption that because you ask questions, you're on the phone. You ask questions. Yeah, so someone speaking to you on the phone. Now, in the first place, do not create a sense of or the existence of a pseudo crisis. The fact that 2 persons or more persons may be vying for a particular office in an institution does not suggest crisis. It's a democratic process, and the party as the model unit thought it was important to call all the actors in a consolidated meeting, at which time a decision was made supporting Governor Kofa, and we are calling on all, of course, of all our lawmakers to support that decision. And we know, based on the proven discipline of seditions in the legislature and everywhere, that they're going to support that consensus. Now, then you ask about all this. The CDC has nothing to fear. I believe this government will never match the transparent and accountable record of our citizens in power. And so, if you are conducting audit, it's a welcome initiative. We don't fear audit, we welcome audit, and except that we were expected to be a holistic judicial process that will not start from 2018. Liberia did not gain independence 2018. So there was a government before the ascendance of the CDC-led government, and wrongs were committed. There are more than 68 consensual documents that are evidently considered to have been passed, bypassing the due process of law, bypassing basic standards of the legislature. So we can go on naming the different discrepancies, corruption, bad governance, even under Madam Salih and Joseph Bouaka, who today is incoming president. So if you are carrying out an audit, we support it, and we hope it will extend to the Ellen era in our post-conflict democratic experience, coming all the way to the front. But an attempt to want to start the audit for 2018 to be amounted to amount to witch hunt, because then you're trying to also put up the whole Liberian citizens that were in government that are responsible for allegedly committing heinous economic crimes that should also be investigated. So while we welcome audit, we think it should not start from 2018. That's not when Liberia go independence. We should go beyond that. Now, which one it's already clear that this government is going to be vindictive, that they are governing on an idea of vengeance, and which one is going to be clearly contemplated, which has already started. For example, you have a police report that for the first time in 6 years, I'm not counting Madam Salih's own government tenure, for the first time in 6 years, you have a report from a statutory government institution, the Liberian National Police, that labels and indict a political party in an alleged crime committed by an individual. Seditions were murder, by elements of the Unity Party wearing UP t-shirts in Lofa County. There was no charge sheet that labeled any of them as UP partisans. Seditions have been murdered in other scenarios that we can clearly establish, and the masterminds of these murders were not indicted on the charge sheet that says UP partisans. The first time for a police indictment or a police report to point out an individual who they know is a member of the Unity Party and label that individual as a sedition is in the last 2 weeks. And we also learned that the former notorious police commander, Abraham Coman, had paid a surreptitious visit at the LNP and used his influence there to try to manipulate that charge sheet or the investigators to indict the individual with a partisan badge. Now, if you do that, then it becomes a precursor of what is to come. You are not even inaugurated yet. You're going to have a notorious human rights abuser. Everybody knows A.B. criminals working in this country. Everybody knows A.B. criminals doing the war committed heinous crimes, allegedly. We all know what he did under Madam Stanley as Deputy Police Director. So if these are the notorious lieutenants that Mr. Boake relies on to govern, then Liberia is on a highway to hell. The problem is destined to come because there will be witch hunting, the rights of Liberians will be abused, there will be police brutality. How do we know that? For the individuals that are now becoming the face of our national security apparatus are people we know that are alleged convicts of human rights abuses in the moral code of justice. So, talking about witch hunt, there is a preponderance of evidence to indicate that witch hunt is just on the doorstep of governance. You are already threatening seditions who are qualified and employed as civil servants. You want to clean up the system to remove all sedition because you want an election. And don't forget, as I just said in the speech, you don't have a clear mandate. So the arrogance have got to stop. If this were in other democracies, you have to form a power-sharing government or a coalition government because the mandate to govern is not clear. You won election with a difference of 20,000 votes. 20,000 votes, which is equal to a half district mandate. So you cannot be coming to power with a lopsided a mandate that is not clear and expect the Liberian people to jitter at your desire to initiate which one by governance. CDC will not cut out. CDC will not case the golden cap of apostasy. We will stand up to this stage. If you think you are coming to power to wish on our people in government, you have to think twice. Because if you give us a reason or give our people the reason to not have peace, you too will not have peace. That's the democracy we are playing. And I don't say this violently, I say this because there are democratic processes available to us to be utilized to ensure that you don't have peace as much as you don't allow people to have peace on the job site. There should not be workplace prejudice. Seditions are qualified and should be given the opportunity and the right to work based on their proven qualification. To move or to remove a sedition because you once wore CDC t-shirt during campaign is not to be serious manner of a government. First of all, you don't have a clear governing mandate. You want a controversial election that through a process considered stolen. You want an election on a mandate that does not even amount to half district. District 4 alone has around 80,000 registered voters. You want CDC by 20,000, but even that is still in question. Regardless of the fact that there's a preponderance of evidence, we are not interested in moving forward because our leader has already considered the result. So as a responsible political party, we accept the result and move forward. But it does not mean that we will concede this government or this country to bad governance because you have a mandate. It does not mean that we allow you to have your will in an anti-democratic process in this country. We will stand up and challenge these things peacefully. We will ensure that the right of every Liberian, man, woman, and child will be respected. Because Liberia is for all of us, and the people spoke very clearly They prefer us to coexist. That is the meaning of a 50-50 split mandate. When you have an election where Parker got 50% total vote count, CDC got 49% total vote count, that's a split verdict. That's a split mandate. So a responsible and wise government will consider that half of the country rejected you. So you need to slow down and drop the shoulders, drop the arrogance. Your mandate is not occasional, but a popular people's mandate. Your mandate constitutes a half-district political authority. So that arrogance you are carrying around, you better be careful.
Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. Arrogance. Arrogance. Provocation. Provocation. Provocation.
Now someone say, well, I can take a job. I have a job. I have a job that I'm satisfied with. The biggest privilege of my life has been to serve as national chairman of the mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. I cannot subordinate that job for an inferior job. Not even a minister's job is equal to my job. If I accepted not to work in my own government, then a UP government will work in. So come on. So but we are here to stand and fight you when you are wrong. So I want to say the whole thing that we will go crawling on our belly and the butchers around us, they don't know us. Then you forget my history. We are accomplished hardy revolutionaries of this struggle. We will not betray this struggle for butter or beer. We are here to fight tyranny, bad governance. Which one? I promise you, if you think that you are coming to power on a weak or the weakest mandate in our country, so which one and scare citizens away, we don't go into exile. We are here. We are here, and we will stand up to your tyranny. We will stand up to your witch-hunting tendencies, and we will stop you democratically. We are not violent. We are peaceful, but it is also my responsibility as chairman of our NEC to ensure that every citizen is protected. So, for those that you want to, if you want to form government with us, citizen, it's up to you. But you will not which one those are there. You will not be scared. They have the right to work. You will not wish on a civil servant that is a sedition. Don't be scared, they can do you nothing. Don't commit crimes. Don't do wrong. But as you execute your duties and your responsibilities as a civil servant, this government does not have the right or the power to do anything to you once you are in. You are existing within the rule of law. So citizens, I want you to understand your party stands with you. We will never let you down. Whether down a valley or up a cliff, eagles do not fear height. We are here. We will not run, we will not kowtow, nor go in exile. We will stay here, we will confront evil. We support government when you do right. When there's something wrong, we'll also speak out. So, beware. Now, you ask whether inviting our Secretary General to the courthouse constitutes witch hunt. I have never known a final individual like I know the Lord Mayor of Monrovia, Jefferson Tamakoti, as one of the finest political species of the Republic of Liberia. So, if there was something to indict him for, it would have been a South Beach. But the last 6 years has demonstrated that what is inspiring the attack against him is because of his tenacity, his commitment to the cause of the masses, and that of the mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. So, he has done nothing wrong. And so if he's invited, he will go there. So whatever the court thinks is reasonable to have been invited there, we don't have a problem with that. He will go and come back home. And this government should not even think about trying to oppress or suppress Liberians or free speech and think that they will walk away with it. That's not possible. So, and we wait to see we are waiting to see. We have the historical archive record of our civil servants, government officials, etc. We are waiting to see the people they are putting out there. It appears to me it will be business as usual. It appears to me the same corrupt buccaneers that exploited and plundered resources under Edith Salim are the ones coming back. The CDC will not tolerate a recycling of politicians that are proven criminals of our state, that pay us resources, that plunder the national wealth. If you bring them back to government, we will oppose it, and you will not have peace politically until they are replaced with people that have the credential, the integrity to govern our country. Yeah. So, don't think that we are not watching. We are watching. You want 3 months to prepare yourself, we'll give you the 3 months. We are not eager, we're not angry. Don't picture us. We are a vibrant party. We are peaceful people. We are proud to be considered Liberia's fundamental pillars of peace. We will continue to live peacefully. But do not think that we'll give you 1 micro-inch opportunity to witch hunt our people or to scare them away. That is a perpetual impossibility. The mighty coalition for democratic change will remain standing, is alive, will not case the golden cap of apostasy. Will protect our people, will protect this party. We will fight, of course, democratically. We will be non-violent, because very soon, in a few years, this mighty party once more will come back to power to continue doing the things it was elected to do. Thank you and God bless you.
That's how we come to the end of this event. We've been here at the Coalition for Democratic Change headquarters, and press conference was presided over by Chairman Model, and change was quickly behind the camera.